Hi and welcome to Beads Jar. My name's Billy and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to weave this very spectacular hidden depths pendant using the beautiful Rivoli set in the bezel. For this beautiful project we're doing today, we've got a size 12 beading needle and I'm using the 8-pound file line, to which I've already added my needle and about 1.5 meters of length on this one. I'll be using this fabulous 12mm Rivoli, and I've got the size 15 Mayukis, the Super Duos, a 2.5mm Swarovski crystal and 2 colours in the 4mm. Take 10 of the Super Duo beads and we're going to use the little Mayukis and we're going to thread intermittently between a Super Duo and a Mayuki till all 10 of the Super Duos are on. So I started with a Mayuki, I'm not going to finish with one, and I will just double check. We've got 5, 10 Super Duos. I'm going to take this down the thread and I'm leaving about a 15cm tail on my cord, which will half hitch knot in at the end. So I'm just going to go up through with my beading needle through all of these beads and out through the top. So take your time, you don't want to miss any of them. They all need to be in the loop. So as you can see, as I pull on the cords, that's bringing this loop nice and tightly in. This is going to form the top, so this section here of the beautiful cabochon that we're creating. Sorry, the beautiful bezel. So I've come back to where my tail end is and I'm also going to take this through the next 2 Mayukis and Super Duos that are on. So I've just caught that one. And Super Duo. So we've got our lovely circle here. Don't worry about this tail end for now, that's just going to sit there for a moment. Now we're going to do something called a step up. So we're coming out of the bottom hole on this Super Duo and you're going to take your needle and you're going to go through the top hole, coming out to the left hand side. So my thread's coming out to the left hand side now. And I'm going to pick up the 2.5 crystals. So onto your needle with one and across to the next top hole in the Super Duo. And pick up another crystal. And again, through and across to the Super Duo. Whoops, caught another one there. Just want the ones. And I'm going to fill all the gaps to the Super Duos till I come back to the first one we stepped up on, so here. So I'm putting the crystals in between each of those ones. So I've got to the last point and I've got my crystal on my needle, so I'm going to go through and out through the Super Duo. And then we're picking up. So we're going to pick up 5 minute size 15s and we're going from, so we've got 5 from this side of the crystal over to the next super duo. So we're doing a little sort of peak hat for the crystals. And then next 5 and over. And keep going till we get back to the start point again. So we're on to our last point. So exactly the same again with 5 seeds and across to the super duo, but this time you're going to go up through the seeds, so from the super duo and the 3rd Mayuki on that row. So I'm coming out of the 3rd Mayuki. Just to correct my little point there. And then we're starting to pick up again. This time we're going to pick up with the super duos and a single Mayuki. So one Mayuki, whoop, a super duo and a Mayuki, and we're going across to the 3rd Mayuki on this point. That's what it'll start to look like now, and we're going to move that tail end out of the way, just being naughty, and pick up again. So Mayuki, super duo, Mayuki, and across to the next point. And pick up again. And you're going to do the same, go all the way around with this one. So I'm coming across, I'm going to go through the super duo and out to the side. Now before I carry on with any more of the actual make, I'm just going to take my needle off the long end of thread and reconnect it now here, and I'm going to tie my half hitch knot so that we can get rid of this tail end, and that'll be out of the way as well. I'm just going to put that on. So in order to do our half hitch knot, I'm going to loop under the weave that's running through the centre, and as I pull that thread down you'll see the loop form there. I'm going to go back through with my beading needle and I'm going to pull tightly on the cord so the knot slips down in between the Mayuki and the super duo, and I'm then going to pass that through the super duo, hiding the knot completely before repeating that same method. So under the weave, and through the loop, and back through the Mayuki and out through the super duo. You can do that again if you wish. I'm quite satisfied that's going to have worked. And then using my precision scissors, I'm going to cut away this excess thread now because we no longer require that for the project. Take your needle off and reattach that to start the next progression in this weave. So I'm just reconnecting my needle here. So So we've come out from the super duo, and I'm going to flip my project round, and I'm going to take the step up, so I'm going to go up into the top hole of the super duo, and now I'm pulling all of this in so that we can catch our Rivoli inside the bezel. So we're just going to pick up one Mayuki in between each of these. I'm going to go halfway round before I drop the Rivoli in, and then we can tighten it all up. So you'll see the project start to purse in now, which is good, we want that to happen. I'm just going to keep turning the project as I go round. And tightening all that tension as well. Ooh, got another one there. So you can see that really pulling in now. So I've gone halfway around, and I'm going to take my crystal, and it's a good opportunity just before you drop it in to make sure there's no fingerprints on it. So give that a clean, because you don't want them to show up and it be stuck inside. So just make sure it's free of any marks, and then you're going to drop that into the bezel. Bring that to the center again, and you keep going, picking up the super duos that are folding in to encase the Rivoli inside. So I'm pulling that nice and tight, and I'm on the last one. And I'm going to take that through a few of the beads so that that can really secure the tension on that. So that's all encased, and if we flip it over, you get that beautiful effect there with that crystal inside. So this is where we were. I'm going to go through, and I'm going to take this step up, and I'm going to start adding the outer layer, so the fancy outer layer of this part here. So we're just going to walk, step up, so from the super duo across and up through those two Mayukis, and I've just pulled my tension out a bit, so I'll just need to tighten all that up. So just rework that thread, and then once you're at this point, it shouldn't pull out anymore. So we're going to add our next stage on from here. To add our lovely little spikes, we're going to pick up 7 Mayukis. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were coming out of the 3rd bead on that point, and you're going to go across to the next one in the cross section of the weave. So adding 7, and I'll flop that down so that you can see how that looks, and I'll just pull that middle one out. So you've got your spike of 7. Pick up 7 again. And across to the middle bead. next 7, and all the way around till we're back at the beginning point again. So I've continued round making these beautiful points, and I'm just on the last one. So I've gone through the top hole and I'm just going to pull this last point into position, like so. I'm now going to take the needle up through the first 4 in this point, and then we're going to start putting the beautiful Swarovskis round. So I'm just going to make sure that I go up through all 4 and out through the 4th one. Like so. So we're going to pick up. So I'm bringing a few of the seeds, and I'm going to pick up some crystals. Okay, so 1 seed, 1 crystal, 1 seed, and then we're going to go across to the 4th bead on the next point. So just that one, and pull across, twist my project, and then pick up again. Seed bead, and I'm alternating between the 2 crystal colours. Across to the 4th, and pull around. Pick up again, and make sure you alternate. So it's back to the fuchsia, and the seed bead, and the 4th. So I'm going to continue all the way around till I've filled in all the point sections between here, and then we move on to our outer layer and eventually the bale. We've done our full circle now with the crystals, and I'm on to the last one. I'm going to take this across, and I'm actually going to go through the 2 seed beads and then out to the side of the crystal. So I'm just going to continue with that to show you. So through those 2 seeds and through the crystal, and out at the side of the crystal. So we're coming to the last part on the pendant where we're going to make these little spike bits, and then we're going to come up and attach our bale up here. So we're going to pick up 7 Mayukis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 7 on the needle, and I'm going to go back through the crystal, out through the crystal, 7, and so on. So don't go through the seed bead there, just through the crystal. You notice I pinched that and it just popped the crystal up to make my job easier. So I'm putting the spike in place. If it's not sitting quite right, just get the 4th bead and you can point that out. And on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next crystal. And you're going to keep going all the way around. So we've reached the point where we've come around all our points here, and I've come out next to one of the crystals. I'm going to go back up through the first 4 and out to the left hand side of that top one. So I'm just going to take the needle up and through. Might have to do this one bead at a time, but at least I know I've got them all. That's the second, 3rd and 4th. Okay, so I've come out to the left of that top one, and I'm going to pick up a new seed bead, and I'm going to go back through the same bead from the opposite side. So I'm going from the right to the left, like so. Hold that down so I can show you how it works. And we're going to get that one to sit above the top point. So if you can see now, that one's sat above that one. To make that nice and secure, I'm going to go back through again, so the top bead. So we've done a loop round. And position that. So just pull in your thread. We don't want baggy thread up there. And now I'm going to pick up, and I'm going to pick up 7 more seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm coming back and going from the left hand side around. So through in the opposite direction. Just pull that bead as you pull around. I'll need to take my finger out as I get closer. Okay, so I've got a little loop here, and I'm going to go back round all of that again. Twist my project to make it easier. Back through the next 2 beads. So I've got my little bale on. And I'm coming out. I'm going to go back down through the beads and weave down before I finish with my half hitch knot. So just checking that I'm coming out through the correct bead here. Just want to take that through that one. And then I can go back down towards the centre of the bezel. Through the crystal. Go through those next 2 seed beads. And I'm going to start my half hitch knot here. I'm going to catch underneath that weave that's running between these 2 seed beads with my beading needle. So you can see I've just caught the weave, just crossing over my needle there. And as I pull that down, there's going to be a loop form. Turn this round. So there's a loop formed with the thread. Go back up through with the needle. And then I'm pulling that knot tight into the middle of those 2 seed beads. back down through the next 3, and catch the weave again. Pull the loop in. Through the loop with the needle. We're not tight. And through your next few beads. So I've come out next to the super duo, and we're going to cut away this excess thread using our precision scissors and get them nice and close to the project and trim away that excess thread. And that's all nicely hidden with those hitch knots, and that is your beautiful project all complete with your bale and to connect onto a chain or a woven snake chain, a woven necklace. Enjoy the project. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and we hope to see you for our next one. Subscribe now and you'll get all of our latest designs straight to you. Also, if you've enjoyed it, give us a big thumbs up whilst you're there. Till next time, bye!